Based in London, the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons is the regulatory body for the veterinary profession within the UK. RCVS Council is the governing body for the college, and 24 of its members are directly elected veterinary surgeons. People just like you. Colonel Neal Smith is head of the Royal Army Veterinary Corps. He is also a trustee of the Blue Cross. Neal is president of RCVS Council until summer 2014.
I've always been very interested in the profession, and I think the profession is very important to me. I made the decision to stand originally in 2003, partially after experiencing foot and mouth disease and seeing that the role that veterinary surgeons should be playing in major national issues. The Council is important because we're responsible for setting, upholding and advancing veterinary standards. Most of the actual work from a councillor's point of view takes place within the committees, of which the main ones now are the Education Committee, Standards Committee and Veterinary Nursing Council. And don't be worried about where it is you actually live. People come from all over the country, all over the United Kingdom, to be able to be members of council. It's not something you have to be in the southeast of England in order to do. All your expenses, reasonable expenses, are paid. It includes overnight accommodation in London if necessary. And on top of that, if there is an actual loss of earnings, either to you directly or to your practice, that is also reimbursed by the college. The Royal College Council is there to regulate the profession, and it's there therefore to have public confidence in veterinary medicine. But we always have to keep at the forefront of what we do. This is about animal health and welfare, and that's why we have a veterinary profession.
Based in Scotland, Amanda Bogue is Clinical Director of Vets Now, a private business that provides emergency out-of-hours care.
I found out that I'd been successful in my election as a council member when my second daughter was 3 weeks old, I think, so I was on maternity leave at that time. And I've got an older daughter who is currently 4 as well. So it is a bit of a juggle, but I think any working parent, and especially working mums, knows that there is always a juggle with the different kind of priorities. But I think we manage very well. It's just about planning and organisation.
Hiya, how are you, sir? How are you?
Being a council member has been very career broadening. You get to meet a whole variety of different people involved in different areas of the profession. I think the profession is hugely diverse, and it's fantastic to get to meet people who care about the profession but have very different backgrounds and very different job roles. It's very important that there are a wide variation of voices able to be heard at council level. Women form now over 50% of the practicing profession, and I think are still underrepresented on council. And I think some of it, as with many areas of life, is a confidence that you can do it, and just encouraging all the younger women out there who are veterinary surgeons to have that confidence to put themselves forward.
Chris Tufnell runs Coach House Vets in West Berkshire, a mixed equine and small animal practice. He is currently chairman of the Education Committee.
I've been on the Education Committee ever since I joined council. The Education Committee is primarily responsible for regulating veterinary education in this country, particularly the primary qualification, so that's the veterinary degree. And it does this by, in this country, visiting veterinary schools on a 7-year cycle. The other thing is it looks at postgraduate veterinary education. It's very good, particularly if you run a small business, such as the practice I have, to be able to take a step back occasionally from it. The time I spend in London at the Royal College gives me that opportunity to take a step back and see the bigger picture. I think we're incredibly lucky to be a self-regulated profession. For the likes of me, a practitioner, to have the right to stand and be on the regulatory body of our profession is fantastic, because it means that I hopefully take my practicing perspective up to London every time I go.
Jackie Molyneux is the owner of the Prince Bishop Veterinary Hospital near Consett in County Durham. She is a former president of RCVS Council.
I had the honour of being elected as president in 2012,
And I have to say, I thought it was just astounding that a normal practising vet like myself from the northeast of England should be elected as President of the Royal College. One of the highlights was the amount of time I spent inside the Houses of Parliament working on various government committees and helping to get the passage of the Legislative Reform Order to help change our constitution of our disciplinary and preliminary investigation committees. If you care about your profession, and I trust that people who are watching this programme would care about their profession, it's incredibly important that people do put themselves forward to stand for counsel. We need to have representation of all the people across the profession, whether they be in academia, whether they're in industry, whether they're in practice, whether they're at the start of their career or nearing the end of their career, because all of those different factions have different opinions. And whilst a council member is not there as a representative of a group of people, they are there to represent different people's opinions.
This is your chance to stand for election to RCVS Council. Nominations close at the end of January. There are further details on our website. The council depends on people. People just like you.